BBN, Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing today? Now, today, need to discuss this mass shooting happened in Chesapeake, Virginia. Just so we could be clear, it was an individual who worked there. Apparently, he was a manager or something along those lines. And what ends up happening is he goes in there. There's a room full of his coworkers, his the people he supervises, and he decides to start shooting. There's an actual witness that I believe they're saying was in the room, and what they described, I think there was a couple of people who he didn't, I guess, target, or by the blessing of the Most High, when he aimed in their direction, he was off. So just so we could be clear, there were people who were there, and from the way in which it sounded like when I was conveyed the information, they were in the line of fire. And it's like he just chose not to shoot them, or like I said, they got fortunate. With that being said, I want y'all to listen to this clip right here, and then I'm going to be back with my commentary.
At 6:44, we want to get right back to breaking news this morning in Chesapeake. Police confirmed 7 people, including the shooter, are dead after a mass shooting at a Walmart there.
Yes, overnight news happening just after 10 o'clock. We do know from officers at least 5 people are being treated at Centera Norfolk General. The number of people hurt could be as high as 10. When we do know, again, 7 people are dead, 6 of those victims, 1 being the shooter. So our Sh00ting live this morning at the scene with the details, and you just spoke with our Maria Bray, who spoke with an employee who witnessed all of this take place at the back of the store. Aisha?
Well, Bianca, Katie, yes. So Maria Bray, our reporter, spoke to a woman who was an employee at Walmart. She says they were meeting in like a back room, a conference room type of situation just before their night shift started. And that's when the shooter, who she says and alleges was a manager at Walmart, started shooting and spraying the room from left to right, and that she was let go. Fortunately, she survived. She went into really graphic details that we're going to spare you of this morning because this is still really raw and fresh for the entire community, but really heartbreaking details about where people were shot, how they were shot. But I will say that this woman does allege that she believes this was a planned shooting. Again, all of this is a witness account. We are still waiting to confirm these details with officials, as well as the identity of the suspect. But again, that's the latest here. We also know that all of this came down around 10-12 p.m. So the store was still open to the public. We did have a lot of other Walmart employees come forward saying we had just started this night shift, things were going smoothly, and then the chaos erupted.
Okay, so just so we can be clear, as the witness is saying, it was unprovoked. Previously, also, just so we can be clear, I had actually came upon an article where they actually was speaking, and one of the things in which they said is that this particular individual, he's previously had issues at work, that they previously had issues with him at work. Just so we could be clear, right here it says at least 6 killed in Virginia Walmart shooting. They said several co-workers of the Walmart supervisor suspected of committing a deadly rampage inside Chesapeake, Virginia store, killing 6, plus the shooter, I believe, makes 7. Said the shooter had exhibited odd and threatening behavior in the past, and this person was a supervisor. So I just want to be clear about this, and I'm not saying that all of the time somebody is coming off hostile in the environment, that this is something that can happen. But what I'm saying is there's an onus on the corporation at some point or another whenever there is a employee that has, and I'm not saying an employee who is in the middle of a lot of, because sometimes you can just be in the middle of stuff because you don't fit in, but an employee who is obviously exhibiting hostile behavior towards multiple different and other employees, there's a point that they have to step in. Something has to happen. Andre Bing, the suspected gunman who worked as a night shift team leader, could be gruff with fellow employees and express paranoid views about the government, according to interviews with co-workers. I'm going to say something real quick. So I'm not a big fan of the government, but I'm not paranoid about these guys. I might be a little bit cautious about other stuff, but I know what the government is planning on doing, and we all in the crapper. Anyway, he said a lot of disturbing things. Said Danya, I don't know how to say that last name, Prolu, that sounds like it might be French. I don't know how to say that, or Creole. Who said she was in the employee break room when Bing entered and unexpectedly opened fire. Bing came in, shot 3 of my friends before I took off running. Half of us didn't believe it was real until some of us saw the blood on the floor. So obviously it sounds like this particular individual came in and targeted people specifically. I want to say this, and I want to be so clear on this, because I understand that we live in this world and in this culture where there's always the belief you got to be tough. Kind of like you got to be like Rocky and shit. When the tough get going, the good get tired of shit. When the good get going, the tough get... You know where I'm going with this. But there's also an onus has to be put on. Some people are just bad people. He might have been the bad person here. But in any regard, do you understand how sometimes misunderstandings can turn things into thinking that people who are not bad people are bad people off of misunderstandings? So that's the real reason why forgiveness is important. Because often when we're angry at another person, it's probably a misunderstanding. With that being said, put it down in the comment section. I want to know what you guys want to think about this. Look, this guy went in there. He did what he did. This is a terrible thing. He did not make it out either. The police, I don't know if they said he did it to himself or the police, but he did not make it out either. We heard the lady say that he was the 7th person. He killed 6 people, apparently. They said in the past, Bing could be condescending when he spoke to us. He didn't have good communication skills. He was quite mean to a lot of us. Solangeria Reese, who worked with Bing from 2015 to 2018, described him as a loner. He was always saying the government was watching him. He didn't like social media, and he kept black tape on his phone camera. Someone always thought something was, I'm sorry to say, but he kept black tape. The video Reese said he took in 2000, that sounds to me like he might know how to do a couple of these things to people. I want to say something real quick. Individuals often think somebody is just being paranoid for the sake of being paranoid, but some people are paranoid because something has actually happened to them or because they've done something to someone. So be able to tell the one from the other, because some people need a hug and the other people need distance. With that being said, Joshua Johnson, who worked as maintenance at the work store until 2019, also told CNN Bing had previously issued ominous threats if he ever lost his job. Golly. I'm gonna say something. Start believing in people when they say when their careers and shit that they love is in jeopardy. Just start believing them. That's all I'm saying. Just start believing them. It'd be terrible if we hear that he just got fired and they didn't tell the people that worked at the place. Nobody knew he got fired and he just walked in on them. That would be terrible, Walmart. I'm just throwing that out there. He also said he got fired from his job. He would retaliate and people would remember who he was. Personally, myself, I've only been removed from one job ever, but I think I've quit every job I've ever been at. An actual job, this is just too much. So obviously he had other things going on in his life that might have needed a little bit of attention and care. We got to stop ridiculing people when we consider them to be different. We have to start extending ourselves, extending our hearts to individuals when we think that they're different. One, they might be onto something, but even more importantly, they might be going through something. People love to ridicule people when they're different. You know what I'm like? And that's not the Most High's energy. So let's start trying to embrace people when they're different. You understand? Let's start embracing people, showing them a little bit of that love. Chesapeake Police Chief Mark Solinsky said there was no clear motive for the shooting known at this time. Walmart confirmed Bing was an employee. He passed away, and said in a statement that the company was thankful for the local first responders and will continue to work with local law enforcement as they continue their investigation. I would hate to hear that he lost his job and Walmart didn't inform the employees. Him losing his job, that's whatever the hell. But if Walmart didn't inform the employees, I would consider that to be not I would consider that to be something that needs to be in looked into. That I would think that wouldn't be a good look. With that being said, put it down in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think about this. Should Walmart be held at least semi-responsible if they did not tell these people that the guy that was sending out threats, why they probably fired him, got fired, and then he shows up to the establishment and where those stuff happened? Now, I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm just saying, I want to know, did Walmart tell this guy not to come back to work? And if so, did they tell the people that were supposed to be there? Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification game. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got in this week.